Hey everybody, Baldoric here. Today we are going to be talking about the brand new Tempest Trial unit for the 30th Fire Emblem anniversary, which is Minerva. So if you don't know, for the 30th anniversary, they are releasing a bunch of Fire Emblem characters from the first game, or the early games, and they are releasing their kid forms. And they're like powered up, fully enhanced kid forms that you are going to get to use. And one of them is Minerva, and this is the free-to-play Tempest Trials unit. And honestly, what a surprise. She is really, really good. So from a free-to-play perspective, I mean, obviously right off the bat, Tempest Trials, you get 2 copies of her, a 4-star and a 5-star. So as long as you have the feathers for it, you already +1 her. And then eventually she'll come to the Heroic Grail pool, which means you can +10 her at your convenience, as long as you have the Grails and feathers. But she also has some really standout stuff. She's got 2 unique to her. One is a weapon and one is a skill, which are Dragoon Axe, which is accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1. So basically it has like a built-in slaying effect. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is equal to 100%, she gains attack speed, defense, and res +4 during combat, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on the foe per attack. Now keep in mind this only happens when the foe is at 100%, but that's a really good skill, because she's basically, as soon as she initiates on any foe that wasn't hit at all, she gets 4 to all of her main attacking stats, or all of her stats for combat, and they have they're not going to build special off of attacking her, which is honestly really amazing. Fantastic weapon. It's situational, because they do need to be at 100%, so we do need to build around that, but it's a really good weapon. She also has Dragoon Shield, which neutralizes the effective against dragon bonus, and it grants attack speed, defense +3. So no res on that one, but still, gives her a solid extra bit of stats for all of her important stats. So it's honestly a really impressive thing that she gets, because it's a combination of Iode Shield and like a mini Fury 3 without the health requirement or the res. So it's an interesting skill to have there. And because it's exclusive to her, it also scores well in Arena, so keep that in mind when building her. Now, let's talk about, I have 3 builds for us today, and my usual thing where I go max invest, standard investment for a +10, and a budget invest. So, let's talk about what I think this unit is going to be max invested, what you want to do with her, and how I think she plays. So, this is geared towards Light Season and Aether Raids, and she has an Ear and Peony built into her stats. But if we take a look at a fully like summoner supported Light Season bonus version of Minerva, these stats are outstanding. They are fantastic for, especially for a flying unit, to have that much defense and res for something like this is honestly really good. But I made her into a Gale Force unit, and the biggest reason, she's got an attack of 62 and a speed of 52. She is going to be doubling, and let's keep in mind, this is not counting with the Dragoon Axe bonus. So let's say she starts initiating combat. It's that 66 attack, 56 speed, 50 defense, 35 resistance, just from attacking, which is already an awesome thing. All right? I put Heavy Blade as her S slot. Basically, that's going to make it so that every 2 attacks, because her attack will be higher, she is going to get Gale Force off, which means okay, actually, let me premise this. Dragoon Axe subtracts 1, which makes Gale Force a 4 charge. So every single attack you do is going to get you 2 charge with Heavy Blade. Therefore, in 2 attacks, you will have Gale Force. Now, with the right partners, which is why I gave her Flyer formation, you want to have another Gale Force unit, something like like Sita, the regular 5-star pool, 3 to 4-star pool Sita is honestly really good for this with her Wing Sword. You could use the new Sita as well, but she's obviously a lot harder to invest because she just came out. If you have the orbs for it, by all means, these 2 go great together. But I chose Attack Smoke for her C slot. Attack Smoke, basically just because you don't want to do like a Savage Blow thing here. You might want to switch the Attack Smoke also for a buffing skill. That's fine as well. I chose Attack Smoke because if she's Gale Forcing, running in, hitting stuff, you're going to be able to decrease their attack, which means the survivability of her and your other Gale Force unit increase, which is always a great thing. So she, on Light Season, as long as you partner her with the right Gale Force unit that can do something similar with either a Flyer formation, Wings of Mercy, something of that degree, I think she's going to really, really shine doing a strategy like this. Now, Gale Force strats, you don't see as much in this day and age in Aether Raids, but they are definitely viable on the correct defense maps. And if you use her with the right partner, I think she's going to excel highly in this. Can you also use this build for Arena? Absolutely. It is a great build for that as well. You're just going to have to factor in some different stuff, which I'll show you because my next build is slightly more built towards the Arena perspective. Now, it's still a Gale Force one. The reason this is more Arena, as you notice, is that I have Guidance. Now, Guidance helps with Arena scoring units. You're going to have things like armors or infantry that you're going to want to help move around the map, and Minerva is a great way to do that because she's really tanky. She's going to be able to take a lot of hits, defensively at least, maybe not resistance. She can go in and do a ton of damage herself, take some damage, and then Wings of Mercy somebody else in. Or, sorry, Wings of Mercy to somebody else who's already taken damage and do the same thing. I said that in reverse. I meant somebody else goes in, hits something, gets weak. She jumps in, hits them, hopefully gets that Gale Force off as long as she 2 hits. Now, what's cool is because she is a green, you have a lot of people using things like Flame Emperor, Surtur, and things like that for high score in Arena. Now, because of that, most likely, she is going to double on those units. So, her doubling on those units means that she's going to get Gale Force off because of the Dragoon Axe comboed with Heavy Blade, presuming her attack is higher than whoever it is she is attacking. And you get Gale Force in those 2 attacks and get to move on to the next possible unit, making her a fantastic choice. So, that means she has the utility of jumping in on any of the teammates that you sent in first because they get hurt. She jumps in with Wings of Mercy and possibly kills 2 more. Guidance allows her to help your armors or infantry get around the map, which is a really good thing in arenas when you really need to either get an armored in or out of a situation. And the Heavy Blade just to help her get the Gale Force off faster. I have Heavy Blade in both builds because it just makes Gale Force so much more viable. And with such a great attack stat, honestly, most of the time, she will be getting the Heavy Blade effect off. Now, obviously, we don't have this many copies of her right now. We can only get to +1. I'm just going to show off a budget version of a non-+1, just a regular Minerva, like straight out of Tempest Trial. You get your 5-star. What do you want to do with her? Maybe to either use her in Tempest Trials or to start getting her built for to be like that bonus unit in Arena or whatever it is. So one possible way to build her, and the C slot would very much depend on your team, would be something like this. Her base kit is pretty good, so I gave her most of the stuff from her base kit. I gave her Moonbow because it's a 2-charge, well, it's going to be a 1-charge for 1, and it's just really good for shredding a lot of units that do have that high defense stat. So maybe your Surturs, Flame Emperors, things like that, you want her to be able to kill them. Swift Sparrow is going to make it so that when she initiates, she's getting +8 attack and speed because of her weapon. So that means that she will go up to 63 attack and 48 speed, which is honestly like pretty fantastic. It should double. The 48 speed is really good and should double most units, but there are definitely units with higher, so just keep that in mind. But she still has a respectable 38 defense. Now, the 19 res is where she is weak. She's definitely weak to magic and dragons. Kind of ironic because she's a, wyvern rider, but anyways. So you want to keep her away from things like that, or you want to have units that can take care of those particular units that could threaten her. Now, because I'm using the flyer formation and hone flyers in this build, I am under the impression that a unit that I'm going to be giving or having with her is a flyer as well. Maybe it's a Racin to be the dancer. Maybe it's something like an Est or Cordelia for whatever or maybe not Cordelia, I'm sorry, Sita to do another Gale Force strat that I was talking about. Maybe you already have a build Sita or something like that. You can also use like even Rampala, Katria for these kind of things, and they're going to work really well as well. Just make sure you partner her with the correct units. If you do not have a flyer on your team, you probably want to switch flyer formation and hone flyers to be something else that is more appropriate to what your team is. The flyer formation, you might want to just change to like aerobatics if you don't have a flyer. And the hone flyers, you might want to change into something, maybe even just attack smoke, maybe even like just something to buff your other teams, like a hone or like a drive, something to that effect. Lots of options there, okay? That being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this content, please think about subscribing. I post more I'm gonna be posting videos like this all the time. Anytime a new unit comes out like this one, I will make a video on it. I usually only do like Tempest Trial units or, you know, Grand Hero Battle units, things like that. But we'll see. I might end up doing more of the hero pool as time goes on. Excuse me, sorry about that. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.